Hello, welcome to another video. This is the KVK1 review, how I did, and I've got a new haircut. I look like a peaky fucking blinder. I actually don't look enough like a peaky blinder for my thought. I genuinely showed a picture of Cillian Murphy, the only man who makes me doubt everything about myself, and said, I want to look like this. And sadly, he's a lot more handsome than me, so I don't look like that. Anyway, so KVK1, we've officially stopped fighting, thanks to our message from the King. And yeah, let's see how we did. Well, firstly, we have no territory in Zone 4, which has been the source of some personal battles of mine. But I've also remembered that on this account, I am not in charge. I am merely a man who plays. I don't want to be in charge. I want to play. Should we have done that? I don't know. It could work perfectly. We basically gambled that we would get one circle here, which we have at the moment. It's going to be open again in a day, 5 hours. We will see if we manage to secure it, or if this alliance from 58 can build, this alliance from 60 can get it. Anyway, we lost. That much is clear. I think it was quite a... I don't know if it was disappointing from our kingdom. I thought the big problem was the 58 Wales weren't 3v1'd. You'll see now, I presume, I haven't looked at Kingsland for ages, but I presume they have everything there. Where is it? Yeah, of course. So they will get the star, which is just a nice little thing. The rewards in KVK1 aren't that amazing for things. Let's go and have a look at them, shall we, and see what we managed to pick up. So I'm going to finish about 250th for honour, which means I will get myself, not much, a gold key and 2 heads. And almost a day's speed up, not the end of the world, it's alright. We will finish second for Alliance, which is excellent, because that means we'll get 15 gold heads. You can see how far we are behind the top kingdom, which pretty much says it all about how KVK went. But yeah, 15 heads for this, that's 2.5 days speed up. It's about a week's speed up of different things, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that, especially the 15 heads, that's, well, that's excellent. Kingdom, yeah, pretty crappy rewards for this. We presume we'll finish second. Yep. Yeah, so we get some of the stuff. So we'll get some speed ups, some keys, and more importantly, some 17 gold heads from all that. I think this is the ranking of kingdoms fairly. 58, far and away above 59. Did all right to start with. We fell off as many of our more active players stopped playing, especially we currently have no tier 5s active, unless our enemies are listening, in which case we have 32 tier 5s. Excuse me. So it's been I'd rank as a 5 out of 10. I think we prefer, yeah, 5 out of 10 seems a fair performance. For myself, we got the individual. We got. I wanted to get 25 million kills, then 40 million. If I'm honest, the last few days I just farmed gems. The fights didn't seem that close, and to be honest, I was doing other things, so I didn't really go in and fight for a week or so now. Once the KVK result was decided, we did pick up 2.5 million Sev wounds. No, 3.5 million Sev wounds. So we get some rewards. Obviously, we're not going to... we miss out on the equipment material chest. But we managed to get the bulk of them. For Alliance, we're going to miss out on the 2,000 gems for this. Damn those 50 Charlemagne heads. And the big one we're going to miss out on is the... Well, we're never going to get the Hirons. We're going to miss out on, well, what we might miss out on, what we might gamble and get is this reward, which is all right. Like one material, equipment, legendary equipment material choice. That's fine. Kingdom-wise, we're going to miss out on 5 gold heads here, which is a shame. We're going to miss out on these. Hopefully we get this one again. So if we manage to keep this circle, it's 2 legendary commander heads. It's a single legendary material, which is good. I'd be happy to get them. As I said, we gambled a lot for it. You can see our storehouse isn't looking too pretty at the moment. These are fine, but the 4.3 million Alliance credits, that's bad. So I think our decision to stop building in the Lost Kingdom is logical, because we're going to have to rebuild the fortress when we get back to the home kingdom. And there we go. There is the KVK review of how we did. I also wanted to talk about some of the mistakes I made. I don't know, I've done a few good things. I think I've been very wise in holding my speed ups. There were no real big events. The one big event there was, we got top 10. I'm hoping There's a couple of now or never type events coming soon because I have been diligently amassing speed ups, and I'm looking forward to using them in one big fell swoop as and when an event comes and pushing. Assuming I am going to migrate at some point, I'm going to make sure my power stays below 30 million. But that's the one thing I'm pleased with how I've done. Second thing I'm pleased with is how diligently I've farmed gems. Admittedly, I've stopped the last 2 days because I decided my mental health was probably worth a bit more than a few gems. It was close, but you know, it was. I was farming too many gems, I think, for for my own life. So we will carry that on next KVK. For now, we're just going back to, as you can see from the resource, we've been amassing more standard forms of farming. Also, the one thing I've done well, I think I've built the farm very well. I think it's probably the biggest farm in the kingdom because I'm the biggest farmer in the kingdom. We're at 7.4. Let's go and have a look at the farm alliance. I noticed yesterday I was R5, which is something I definitely don't want. I don't want any responsibility in this kingdom. I just want to be the friendly neighbourhood Greg. As we're waiting, Frozen Banana Stand sponsored today. There's always money in the Frozen Banana Stand. That goes without saying. So here is our lovely little farm. I'm just getting every building to 22. Making sure all the gatherers are gathering at all times, which of course they aren't at the moment. Doesn't matter too much what I gather here. All the resources eventually go to the main. But just keeping this ticking over has been quite a good thing for me. I've got passports on this as well, so if I have to migrate this, if I do go, by no means certain that I will, depends what happens in KVK2, then this is good to go as well. Like I said, I think I'm R, yeah, here we go, I'm R5 in this, but I'm the only one online which says everything. Are there any more powerful farms? No, so I'm the king of the farmers. King of the farmers. That's certainly an insult you could levy against me right there. Right, so that's what we did well in this KVK. What we didn't do well was click on the correct account. So a few mistakes I definitely made, which I wanted to address. Number one, I think, was not going for Richard. I know that Richard's crap after KVK1. So Richard starts here. He starts here. He's very, very good to begin with. I'm just going to check that's on camera. Yes. So he starts here. KVK2 here. 3 here. Season of Conquest back here again. Because he's so good. Like, look at this. Here's my main account. Here's Richard. We're farming barbarians at the moment. We're chaining barbs. He's going to go here, get these 3. How many has he done today? So today he's killed 27 sets of chained barbs and he's lost 7,000 health. So at some point in the account, I've been watching a lot more 12 PvP recently because, well, because I have, because he's a great streamer. And he's an excellent barbarian chainer. Richard, as you can see here, he's with a max Zug, I think. Yeah, max Zug, but max YSG works as well. I'm obviously going to have a max YSG, so I kind of wish I'd got the Richard. Not only would it meant I was set up well for Season of Conquest, it would have also meant that for KVK1 I had a decent infantry march. And which goes into my second problem. I wouldn't have maxed him or anything. I'd have gone into 5-1-1-1, which is all you need with Richard. Just get that heal skill up. That's the most important thing. Obviously, on my main, I've got him maxed. I'm a moron. But I wish I'd have got Richard. Brings me on to my second thing. This is my current state of technology. It's fine. As I said, we're not pushing yet. We're waiting for an event. And you will notice here on this particular page, there's an element I could have done differently, and like this, 7 hours, 5 hours. I could have got these up to 5 or 4. I didn't need to be so diligent and just being archer, 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 everything archer. I could have easily done some of this because eventually at some point I did start fighting with infantry. Not much. Like I only did it as I just did a second march at some point, and I don't have enough troops to maintain that march, but I think I would have traded a lot. Well, obviously, I've traded a lot better if the requisite technologies were higher. So I think I think I should have not maxed them, but got them a bit more fighting worthy because my trades with infantry were just crap. On the commander front, I don't think I made a mistake with putting a few gold heads in Thutmose. It was fine. It was a choice more than anything else because I remember I'm going to be fighting with him a long time. I'm going to be fighting with him in KVK2. If I do KVK2 twice, I'll be fighting with him all throughout. The only potential mistake I made here, and again, it's a matter of opinion, is whether or not I should have gone for Thutmose or I should have gone for Kusunogi. haven't really tried Kusanagi and YSG. I will try it. But yeah, Thutmose I went all in on. He's pretty good. I think he's very good, actually, if you get him to a high enough skill level. I haven't got him to a high enough skill level. I don't want to spend the gold heads on him. But, you know, it's arguable that I made a mistake. Sorry, I'm getting anything for her. Arguable that I made a mistake with going for Thutmose entirely, but I think it was a defensible decision. In terms of commanders, again, I think I could have leveled up Sun Tzu a little better. Look, we got a decent infantry set. I think I could have easily leveled up Sun Tzu a bit more. We have so many books, that's what I was trying to show. And I'm going to be completely skipping the KVK2 commanders. Like, I just don't want them. Alexander smacks in KVK2, and Constantine's a brilliant defensive garrison guy in Great Falls Sunset Canyon. Tamiris is actually quite good, but Edward's... okay, a bit more confusing. Edward's excellent at rallies, but I'm nowhere near strong enough to be considered to be a rally or garrison lead. I'm miles and miles away from that, so I don't need those commanders. And therefore, I just don't want them, because they're good for 100 days. By the time you get into KVK3, if you see an Edward, if you see a Alexander on the battlefield, trust me, you make a beeline for it. They're so weak compared to the Season of Conquest guys. So I'm just going to avoid them, which means I have plenty of books left over, which I could have put into Sun Tzu. I'm saving for the next level 60 commander I get, which will presumably be either Nevsky or Zug, and I will have enough books easily to go up there. I'm not sure how many stars I have, but plenty. So I could have, again, it goes back into, I could have done more with the infantry. I could have put more time into researching the infantry technology, and I could have leveled Sun Tzu up more. The big downside to this is I have so few infantry troops. Like, I now have a full march. I doubled down a bit on archers. My idea is to have 2 archer marches for KVK2, and I'm kind of working towards that, but I didn't need to do it. I could have spent more on infantry full stop. Another mistake. I should have 0 of these, 0 of these. I can have some of these, because days like this, I believe we have spreading civilization today. Yes, I just trained tier 2 siege to get through that. But I should have 0 tier 4 units in siege, and certainly 0 tier 3. The fact I do is a mistake on my part. They are useless. There's nothing more to say about that. So another mistake was training them full stop. So when people look at the account, I get a load of messages saying, wow, you really pushed high. How have you got so high? Yeah, I've pushed high. I've got a good-looking free-to-play account here, but it could have been so much more. A few other mistakes. I messed up one of them more than gems. I spent all my gems on one day because I'm an idiot. I also missed a Silk Road, so that would combine, that's 19 heads avoid. That's 19 heads I missed out on, which means YSG could be so much closer to max. I actually re-skilled YSG. I just did my skill reset because I never use them anyway. So I'm going for Joan of Arc, I guess, or Joan Prime. So I just thought, well, 5533, I'll gamble. And first one was terrible. It went 515 something. So I thought, God, this is a disaster. Did it again, got a bit more lucky. So 5524 YSG now. I actually got the 8 heads, bizarrely enough. I never get the 8 heads. I get lucky with equipment. I never get lucky with this thing. But I did get the 8 heads. That is an accurate representation. Yesterday or the day before. You notice I'm still not spinning this. I'm saving for tier 5 now. Everything is geared towards tier 5 push. Final mistake I made. Here's my AP points. I have loads. I didn't need to have this many left over. I'm not too bothered about pushing honor. It's not like I'm saving for pushing honor in KVK2. I'll never get there. The only way of getting extra AP points, aside from in-game things of barbarian forts and completing quests, whatnot, is buying the dailies. Of course, I can't buy the dailies. So I would still be on a struggle to get anywhere near the top, and I wasn't going to chain like a madman. I already chained like a madman on one account. I'm not doing on 2. Mental health and all that. But I think the very fact that now I'm going for tier 5, I underestimated how many of these I'd need. I kind of thought they were easy. I mean, I've got plenty. I'm going to get to level 22 very soon, but that's still a fair way away from what I'll need for tier 5, and I'm kind of resolved the fact I might have to gem the watchtower at some point, which I really don't want to do, because I think that in itself is a mistake. So a way I could have combated that mistake was just fight more barbs. Just use more AP in the Lost Kingdom. I prided myself on barely using any AP points. saving for a rainy day. The thing is, I don't really know when that rainy day is. If you kill barbs, you get speed ups, you get resources, you sometimes get gems. All those are great, and instead we have a load of AP points left over, which could have been contributed into power, or potential power. So I feel I messed up there as well. Okay, we could be saving for Marauder Forts. Sorry, Marauders and Marauder Forts, but you know what? I'm a bit down on Marauders these days. They're alright, but you know, I think when you compare them to Season of Conquest Barbs, for instance, they're so far behind the curve. So the saving for a rainy day, I don't think that rainy day is ever going to come, so I wish I'd have made hay while the sun shined a little more. But I still consider it for myself a reasonably successful KVK. For the Kingdom, I'd say just unsuccessful. We did alright. Big problem, of course, being these guys should have been 3v1s, but because of the beef between us and 60, that was never going to happen. It did briefly, but then they betrayed us. Well, I'm not sure they did, but they decided to side back with these guys in 58. Don't blame them, to be honest. They're so ludicrously strong. This is the first KVK1 I've ever lost. I've lost loads of KVKs. I've definitely lost more than I've won. It's probably quite close, but I've definitely lost more than I've won. And you know what? Winning's a lot more fun than losing. Where are we? 108th most powerful player in the Lost Kingdom, which is a bit ridiculous, because we're nowhere near that. I could push, I think with the speed ups and resource I have, I could probably push to about here. I don't need to again until we've got an event going for it. Oh, we've finally been overtaken now by the 60 Alliance. But anyway, this is KVK1 drawing to a close. There's 1 day, 10 hours left. All fire KVK2 now. I will not compound all the mistakes I've made by going for any KVK2 commanders, like I said. So number 2 is going to be more of a, I'll still fight, obviously, but more of a growth KVK for me. And it's all going to be focused towards pushing tier 5. I could have pushed it a little easier had I not made these mistakes, but alas, I am only human after all. Mistakes were made. Thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying the series so far. I did a review of the commanders for KVK1 yesterday based on, or the day before, based on my own opinions and those of the players with whom I fought with and whom I have fought with and against. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, that's a couple of videos back. For now though, we're leaving KVK2. This much power, this much VIP, this much gems. It's in a good position. Could have been in a better position, but let's not whinge. Let's not split hairs. Saving up on building, we don't need to build anymore. We don't want to push our power until we migrate. Anyway, that was a very weak ending, but I will say goodbye, my friends. Bid you all adieu, and see you for the next video, which will presumably be back in the home kingdom. Migration opens soon. Let's see what happens to the kingdom. KVK2 migration is huge. It's when 53 big players come in. And it will see what seed we're in, it will see whether this kingdom's going to go somewhere or whether it's going to kind of carry on plateauing. And that will define my future, because I want to be in a winning kingdom. So we will see what happens. I love 59, but we want to make sure 59 is a place that can challenge for KVK2. Whether that's seed A or seed B, I'm not bothered. I just want to make sure I'm in the best place to grow this account to tier 5. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next video.